he traveled to Israel for yeshiva. American boy. And this boy he wasn't so much in the mood of learning. Just got to yeshiva, and for him Israel was more as a vacation moment, right? Trip, camp, whatever you want to call it. Not yeshiva. So this boy was hanging out, going Ben Yehuda, going Tel Aviv, you know the places. Anyway, one day, all of a sudden, he started to make a change. He stopped hanging out. He was staying in yeshiva. He was learning a Masechet. And after a few months, he was ready to finish up his first Masechet in the yeshiva. He made a big party. He invited the rabbis of yeshiva. He invited his friends. And then he stands up, and he says, I know that many of you will ask about the change that I had. Everybody knows me, and everybody knows that at the beginning I was hanging out. What happened? And I finished a Masechet. It's something big. He says, you know why? And he points up a rabbi, and he says, everything is thanks to this rabbi. The rabbi is surprised on himself. I mean, he didn't tell him, he didn't even learn with him. And then he says, I'm sure the rabbi is asking to himself right now, what do you have to do with my Siyum Masechet? But I want to tell you. A few months ago, I was one night in Ben Yehuda with my friends. We went to a bar to drink something, a little bit of nargila as well, having fun. Then he says that he had too much fun and he drank too much. And he was a little high, with his friends, and he got into a fight. And he just got beaten up. They beat him up. He came back to yeshiva. His eye was totally blue. Mamash. He got to yeshiva and he said to himself, what a shame. Everybody's going to see me with a blue eye. Yeah? What are you going to tell them? He said he got to yeshiva shacharit, and the whole prayer he was putting his head, trying to cover his eye. They prayed the prayer. At the end of the prayer, that rabbi that he pointed stands up, and he gets to the boy, and he tells him just one thing: be sure the next fight it will be against the Yetzer Hara. Beat him up. Show him that you have the power. Do Siyum Masechet. And he left. He said that those words just came inside his heart. He says, you know what? Instead of fighting outside, why should I have to fight inside. I have to make the real fight. Rabbi, thanks to you, he says, I was able to finish my first Masechet here in the yeshiva, and all the merit of all the learning, I owe it to you. Rabotai, Chachamim are teaching us that the Yetzer Hara orev lo miyemin ubismol milefanim umeachor. The Yetzer Hara is all over, all around. Like we say in Arvit, ve'aser as-satan milefanenu umeacharenu. Milefanenu, when I'm coming to do, certain type of mitzvah, something blocks me. Me'acharenu, he pushed me. He pushed me to do averot. The Yetzer Hara goes all the time, and he grows up with the person. Somebody told me when we were kids, we were playing with cars. Today we're still kids playing with cars, just a little bit bigger. Same cars, same games. Yetzer Hara grows, and he's the same Yetzer Hara. The Chovat HaLevavot have a whole entire chapter that he speaks about the Yetzer Hara, and it's amazing. You read it, you get crazy. You think he's talking to you. You Yetzer Hara. And he says Yetzer Hara is called Zaken v'chsil. Chsil is, tipesh. How you say tipesh? Fool. Huh? Fool. Right? He's also Zaken. He's also old. But at the same time, he's a fool. Why is he a fool? He says because he used always the same type of tricks. It's not one, it's many. But once you will learn about it, you will see that it's not such a big deal at the end of the day, because it's the same type of ways to take us down. The beginning of this parasha, Parashat Ki Tavo, it's called Parashat Atochechot. Not the Kelalot, Tochechot. Why not Kelalot? Kelalot, it's curses. Even though we have 98 curses in this parasha. Very tough. Very, very tough. And we read it before Rosh Hashanah to hope to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that all the Kelalot will stay in the past year, and this coming in New Year will be only Berachot, inshallah. But we don't call it Parashat HaKelalot, we call it Parashat HaTochechot. Tochechot is rebuke, not Kelalot. Why not? Say the Arizal. Because the Kelalot, if you look inside, they're all Berachot. If a person is ready to look inside and he explains, that is, I have a whole explanation, taking every single Beracha and explaining to you that really those are Berachot, those are not Kelalot. Sometimes we have to clean up a little bit our eyes and to see that the problems that are around us, it's basically Berachot and not Kelalot. But listen, the beginning of this parasha speaks about a mitzvah. Today doesn't apply so much. It's called Mitzvat HaBikurim. What's Bikurim? The first from the word Bechor, right? Bikurim, Bechor. The first fruits that you got in your field, you have to put a certain type of a robe around it, right, as a sign, and to bring it to Jerusalem and to eat it in Yerushalayim. And that's Mitzvat Bikurim. Beauty. Listen up. Say Chachamim, what is the whole point of Mitzvat Bikurim? What is Bikurim coming to teach me? So I heard it the other day, beautiful, beautiful explanation. It says like this. It says Bikurim comes to teach us 3 different points. Number 1, Hakarat HaTov. What's Hakarat HaTov? Recognize the good that all the people gives you. We come to Borei Olam, we bring Bikurim. Right? What are we saying? What are we saying by bringing the Bikurim? Borei Olam, thank you. Parnasah is not something that, you're giving me the Parnasah every single moment. Like we say in the Amidah, there is an Isidur over here. It says, Mechayem etim ata Rav Yoshia, Morid atal, Mechalkel, Hayim bechesed. What is Mechalkel, Hayim bechesed? Mechalkel is you give Kalkala, Parnasah. Mechalkel, Hayim, the people that are alive, all the time with Chesed. Everything is Chesed. If Borei Olam was giving us Parnasah according to our actions, whoa, bar minan. Today we were all asking for Tzedakot. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu does it only Chesed. And He gives and He gives. How many times we say thank you? That's Hakarat HaTov. Bikurim was a mitzvah of Hakarat HaTov. And I heard a beautiful story about a great rabbi. His name was Rav Shach. Rav Shach, the greatest Rav Shach. I remember him as a kid. He was the Gadol Ador of the generation. And one time, he was going out from yeshiva to his house. Now, it lived mamash across the street. One of the biggest yeshivot in Israel is called Yeshivat Ponovich in Bnei Brak. Just to cross the yeshiva, he was getting to his house. But it was pouring. That day was, raining very strong. And he didn't have any umbrella. There was a boy in yeshiva. He was passing by. All of a sudden, he sees the Rosh Yeshiva getting wet, and he have his own umbrella. He says, Kavod Torah, obviously he ran. He says, Rabbi, please, let me go with you. And of course, he put the whole umbrella in the side of the rabbi, got a little bit wet, big deal. Few steps until they got to his house. The rabbi, thank you so much, Tiskele mitzvot, and he gave him berachot. That's it. He said from that day, 10 years pass. He got married, he got kids, and he was walking on the streets of Bnei Brak. Then he said, all of a sudden he's walking, and he hears someone hanging the car. So, in the middle of Bnei Brak, there were hundreds of thousands of people walking. Why is it going to be for me? Continue walking. But the one in the car continues hanging. How you call it? Hunking. Anyway, he turns and he sees the car of the Gadol Hador. Obviously, he had the driver, and the rabbi is in the back of the car, and he sees that the driver tells him, "Come here." Comes, and he says, "The rabbi wants to speak to you." The rabbi tells him, "Come inside the car, please." Now in Bnei Brak, I don't know if you know, in Bnei Brak, mashallah, the news goes much faster than in the TV. Yeah. In seconds, everybody knew that this man is in the car with the Gadol Hador. His wife already knew before he got home. And the rabbi asked him, "Where are you going?" He said, "No, I'm going home." He says, "Where's your home?" He said, "No, over here." Okay. And the rabbi starts to talk to him. "So what are you doing? How are you doing? And this and that." The guy doesn't understand what he wants. Rabotai, the man asked the rabbi just when they got home. Now he said that his house was in, you have to make a whole circle to get it. If you want to get in the car, you have to make the whole circle. So usually you can stop in the corner and you can walk 2 steps. The rabbi said, "No, make the whole circle." When they got there, he asked him, "Rabbi, what was the reason that you chose me? I mean, there are hundreds of people over here." He says, "What do you mean? I was looking for you 10 years to be able to pay you midah keneged midah, akarat hatov. You helped me out those steps. I wanted to pay you. I was begging to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God, give me the opportunity to pay back akarat hatov to somebody that helped me." He says, "I wasn't in his yeshiva. I never learned there. I just knew him because he was Gadol Hador." But that's a Gadol. That's the real tzaddikim. That every single thing that they get, they know how to think about it. So we have to open up our eyes and to look around us. How many people we own them our lives? Our spouses, our kids, our parents, our whatever it is. Akarat hatov. Akarat hatov. That's first thinking Bikurim. Second thinking Bikurim. Said something very delicate. Every single person that was coming with the Bikurim, he had to say a prayer. What was his prayer? Yeah, we mentioned it on Pesach a little bit. Arami Oved Avi Vayered Mitzrayim Vayegosham Bimte Me'at. We started to explain the whole story from Lavan. From Lavan. Who was Lavan? Shoda Lavan. Lavan was the uncle of Yaakov Avinu. So why we start with him? Who cares about him? The answer is Arami Oved Avi. Arami, this Lavan Arami wanted to exterminate Am Yisrael. How? Not only killing physically, killing the spirit, killing up the kedusha of Yaakov Avinu. When Yaakov Avinu realized that he wanted to kill the kedusha, how he wanted to kill the kedusha? You know how? He wanted to have the kids of Yaakov under his house. He's going to teach them. He's going to educate them. He's going to give them all the... So Yaakov Avinu, at that moment, we're running out. Arami Oved Avi Vayered Mitzrayim. Why do we start Bikurim with Arami Oved? I mean, you want to say the story of Yetziat Mitzrayim, and then why you have to start with Arami? Rabotai, the Torah is coming to teach us one thing. It doesn't matter which generation it will be. Every single generation there will be people that they will like to take us out from our spirit. And unfortunately it's written in the books that sometimes they can come inside Am Yisrael. Not only from the Goyim, Not the Goyim wanting to disconnect us from our roots. Inside Eretz Israel. Unfortunately, we hear it in Israel. Some people that are standing up and they're saying, no, gotta be a liberal country. Unfortunately. This type of mentality, says the Torah, it will come in every single generation. I want you to know that is a challenge. Arami, Oved Avi. But guess what? If we're going to have the strength and the power to fight against it, to stay strong, then we're going to have the Geula Shelema, that is Yetziat Mitzrayim, and then we will be able to come back to Yerushalayim and to bring the Bikurim to the Beit HaMikdash. So Yiratzon Borei Olam will help us to fight against the Yetzer Hara, to understand that the Yetzer Hara is all over, and throughout our wheel, Borei Olam will give us also Berachai Natzlacha. Amen ve'amen.